lovely ladies. Good evening, lovely ladies. As Charlie Chaplin said, a day without laughter is a day wasted. We are pleased to have our next speaker who will ensure that our day is not wasted. She is unlike any other stand-up comedian whom we witness these days. She brings with herself the wit which emanates from her deep observations on day-to-day life and her personal experiences. It's her ability to bring out the humor from a very rigorous and mundane life that connects the audience with her in a natural way. When she asks us, are we in for a Punjabi tadka? Or when she tells us about the Gen Z kids, or when she says, pati to aate jate achhe lagte hain, it instantly connects with us. An artist, traveler with a great exposure of the world, her intellect is evident in her humor. It is my great pleasure to have Ms. Harpriya Bains amongst us to show her version of life through her humor. I request Dr. Sonal Sisodia, Principal, Delhi College of Business Management, to escort Harpriya Bains on the stage. Ms. Bains loves her plants very much. She has her collection of plants from different places. To add to her unveious collection, I request Mr. Sapan Shah, Treasurer, Indore Management Association, to come on stage and present a sapling along with a memento to her. Let's peep a little into her life and journey through the AV that our team has prepared.
Harpriya Bains, a sari-clad comedian, defies stereotypes through her unique and uproarious comedy routines. With an impressive 5 years of experience in the world of comedy, she fearlessly tackles issues of Indian patriarchy and the societal pressures imposed on women. Harpriya's comic talent catapulted her to stardom with her debut YouTube video, Carry On Mummy, which went viral, amassing over 10 million views on Instagram and 1 million on YouTube. In addition to her comic prowess, Harpriya is a dedicated wife to an army officer and a proud mother of 2 daughters. She also actively engages in voluntary work for the Army Wives Welfare Association. Harpriya's diverse background spans advertising, the corporate sector, watercolor art, and even occasional modeling. Let's welcome a remarkable individual who challenges norms and spreads laughter, Harpriya Bains.
Let's fasten our seatbelts for a hilarious ride.
Thank you, Nikita. So ladies, gather round for a fun-filled experience like no other. The lady here is a true comedic maestro who embarked on her uproarious journey into the world of humor at the sprightly age of 39. She doesn't just wear saris, she transforms them into comedic capes that unleash a whirlwind of laughter. And let's not forget the crown jewel, her fabulous, wisdom-filled and gloriously grey hair, a testament to her timeless wit. So give it up for our sensational and side-splittingly funny comedy queen, Harpriya Bains.
Thank you. Thank you.
An absolute delight to have you here, Harpriya. You are known for your witty observations and towering humor. You know, I read somewhere कि आपकी funny bone is so long, it needs its own zip code. So how is it from the first floor up there?
I think bone by default long hai. By default, very long bones I have. So yes, the view from top is very interesting.
Yes.
सब छोटे छोटे लगते हैं, mostly सोच बहुत छोटी छोटी लगती है लोगों की.
Okay, we get it there. True, true, true. You are an army personnel's wife, and it's often said that behind every man, there's a woman who's rolling her eyes. So how are you as a wife? And does your husband sometimes borrows what you say and give it back to you?
I don't think so. He dare not. In fact, I'm still the rolling eyes one. I'm still the rolling eyes one, and I think I'm just lucky that I have a husband who's extremely quiet.
Okay.
तो उसको बोलने का ज़्यादा मैंने मौका नहीं दिया, और जितना बोलना था वो मैंने ही बोल दिया, और अब मैं स्टेज पे बोल रही हूँ, बेधड़क बोल रही हूँ. वो बेचारा तब भी सुन रहा था, अभी भी सुन ही रहा है.
He must be the biggest fan of yours?
No, I have not asked him this question. I don't mean to ask him this question, and I think I better not get there.
What about your daughters?
Again, not at all. In fact, I must share this, but yesterday, in fact, I messaged my daughter that, I'm going to Indore for a women leadership conclave to inspire women. And she wrote back, scammer.
Oh my God.
Har ki murgi dal barabar.
Harpriya, 39, a lovely number, but when you started your journey, and did you secretly enroll in some how to become funny crash course? Or was it written in your birthday cake?
No enrollment anywhere. ये creativity का कीड़ा कहीं ना कहीं तो मेरे अंदर था ही, because I'm also an artist, I'm also a watercolor artist, तो वो सब कुछ तो था. And I think as a creative person, वो creative pursuits आपके किसी ना किसी तरफ जाते रहते हैं. बोलने का शौक हमेशा से था. So funny कीड़ा, yeah, maybe I was a bit. I think I'm blessed to be born in a family जिसमें थोड़े से funny genes हैं. A lot of comedy I'm getting from my dad's snide remarks, मेरी दादी के snide remarks. वो कुछ ना कुछ. तो वो by default वो पंजाबी वाला थोड़ा सा है. बाकी हमारी language इतनी खूबसूरत है ना पंजाबी. वो मतलब थोड़ी सी बोली तो मजेदार अपने आप ही हो जाती है. तो इसलिए मुझे ज़्यादा मेहनत करना नहीं पड़ा. But there is no crash course. I think ये कुछ अपने अंदर कीड़ा होता है. कुछ एक्सपेरिमेंट करने का आप सोचो तो आप करो तो ग्रेट, काम कर गया तो चल गया.
How was your first time? Was it a
open mic?
success? Yes, the open mic.
Yeah, the
session.
first open mic, like they say, beginner's luck होता है. तो first open mic में तो बहुत ही कमाल का हुआ. I did my first open mic in Hyderabad, and it was a 5-minute spot that I did there. And वो spot तो बड़ा मजेदार था. I got a roaring laughter, 20-30 people का crowd था. It was a lot of fun and everything. And it was great. I was like, I've made it. I'm born to do this, and it's awesome. And after that, I went to my next open mic. दो लोग बैठे थे वहाँ audience में, and they're looking at me like, हेलो आप क्या सोच के यहाँ आई हैं मम्मी, गो बैक. सो येस, ओपन माइक्स इज अ रोलर कोस्टर राइड. बहुत रगड़ा लगता है, सॉलिड रगड़ा लगता है, लाइक एनी अदर जॉब. अच्छे से रगड़ा लगता है. एंड आई ऑलवेज टेल पीपल दैट जैसे बाकी प्रोफेशंस में, लाइफ में हम कहते हैं डर के आगे जीत है, कॉमेडी में ह्यूमिलिएशन के आगे जीत है. क्योंकि जब आप एक बार स्टेज पे चढ़ के अच्छे से ह्यूमिलिएट हो जाते हैं, जब आपकी शक्ल सब देख रहे हैं और कोई नहीं हंस रहा आपके जोक पर, तब आपको ये रियलाइजेशन होती है कि बहुत मेहनत अभी करनी है. आपको लग रहा है यू आर बोर्न टू डू दिस, बट नो, यू आर नॉट रेडी फॉर इट येट. सो देयर इज अ लॉन्ग वे टू गो. तो यस, प्लेंटी ऑफ ह्यूमिलिएशन. एंड ओनली आफ्टर दैट, जब आप एक थिक स्किन्ड बन जाते हो कि भैया ठीक है, तब आप आगे बढ़ते हो धीरे धीरे.
So I think comedy gives an instant feedback, you want to say?
Oh yes, absolutely. That's the best thing about comedy. It's instant validation. It's instant validation. Whether it's appreciation by the crowd, and whether they're enjoying it, they laugh at it, that's fun. And if they're not, that also comes across immediately. अगर आपका joke नहीं चल रहा है, आपकी punchline नहीं चली, so that also is completely right in front of your face, and you know that you've got to work hard. Immediate. And it's just that, like Mandira was saying, that you live for the moment. comedy is an art form that is totally for the moment. It is totally, there is no words, I mean, it is only about live spoken comedy. उसी वक्त आपका वो joke आज अच्छा land करा, कल नहीं अच्छा land करा, तो नहीं चलेगा. So it is absolute validation, immediate, and that's why you just got to work so hard कि इसकी अगली बार इसको हम कैसे बोल सकते हैं.
So how would you define your comedy style?
So my comedy style is observational, mostly like observational, a mix of observational and a mix of like observational and storytelling, because कहानियाँ जो हैं हम सब की I think कहीं ना कहीं जुड़ी हुई हैं, you know, all these हम माँ and सास and mother-in-law and you know सब की कहानियाँ हम सब ladies की बहुत जुड़ी हुई हैं. So my style of comedy is, you know, I love to observe. अब पहले कम करती थी, अब और भी ज़्यादा करती हूँ. It's just try to observe the little things that I get to hear from or we see around us in our society, things that irritate us. You know, patriarchy कैसी धसी पड़ी है हम सब के अंदर. That is amazing, not just men but even in women. And that I've got to know after I started doing comedy that, oh my God, even women are so regressive sometimes, it's not funny. So my style is mainly just observational with little कहानियाँ इधर उधर से अपनी लोगों की, to try to bring them out.
Wonderful. Since you've been talking about your style of comedy, if we talk about your show, which is Carry On Mummy. So first of all, how did you come to this name? How did you reach to this particular very interesting name?
You know, in comedy industry, how it works is that you need to have a title for your video. So I wanted to keep a title that could immediately say that it's a mom out there doing comedy, because we have a lot of women comics out there, a lot of great comedy, and I didn't want to be part of everything. So just to, you know, stand out a bit, and there are no mothers, there are very few mothers who are doing comedy, very few. So in fact, I only know of one in India actually who's doing, as of now, who's doing good comedy. So I wanted to do something different, कि वो कुछ ऐसा मैं title रखूं कि immediately आए कि ये कौन है, because comedy videos अब इतने ज़्यादा हैं that it's difficult to even stand out. So मैंने कहा पहले तो punchline ऐसी होनी चाहिए कि भैया कोई लोग अच्छा ये कौन है, ये औरत कौन है. So that's why it was Carry On Mummy.
Interesting. In this show, Carry On Mummy, you interestingly talk about housewife and homemaker. In fact, till date, I used to think that homemaker means it's much more sophisticated. But your show made me actually think otherwise. In fact, if we can have a video clip, can I ask for a video clip from her show Carry On Mummy? Because it's a very interesting take on housewife and homemaker.
Working from home for the last 20 years as CEO H&M. Cribbing exhausted. So I'm a full-time working woman, working from home for the last 20 years as CEO H&M. A cribbing, exhausted, overworked housewife and mother. मुझे अपने thankless और payless job से इतनी problem नहीं है जितनी इस word housewife से है. बड़ा सड़ा हुआ थका हुआ word है, like a housefly, house lizard. No thought put in this word, है ना? ये तो women empowerment के चक्कर में हमारी थोड़ी सी rebranding होगी, and we got a fancier name, you know, homemakers. At least now we sound like a mixie. Presenting the all-in-one homemakers. Idli maker, roti maker, and the perfect golu molu baby maker.
And the last line comes with a lifetime guarantee and free laundry service.
Totally.
Ting tong, अब नए कमाऊ option में भी.
So throw us a little more light on this concept of roti maker and homemaker.
Yeah, it was just, frankly, when I just thought of it, it was, the comedy I wanted to bring out was our stories, because I think there's a lot of perspective of men. There are a lot of men comedians out there, and I think for donkey's years, we women have been laughed at. हम सब के पत्नियों वाले जोक बहुत बन गए. हमारी पत्नी ये करती हैं, हमारी पत्नी बहुत शॉपिंग करती हैं, बहुत पैसे उड़ाती हैं, हम अपनी सास के घर जाते हैं, ये होता है वो होता है. मतलब मर्द बेचारे बहुत ही बेचारे, हम तो अपनी पत्नी से बहुत डरते. कौन है ये डरपोक मर्द? कौन है? मतलब ऐसे ही क्या मर्द रूल कर रहे हैं क्या? कौन इतने डरे हुए मर्द कौन से हैं? हाँ, तो हम तो डरते हैं, हमारी मातरनी हमें आंखें दिखा रही हैं, हम तो बैठ गए. You know, मतलब I was like, okay, I was sick of those jokes. So I said, you know, so much of point of view, you know, ये है शॉपिंग करने जाती है, पैसे बर्बाद करती है. I mean, ठीक है, you know, such stereotypical jokes. All women are not the same, right? So, but okay, we've been taking it in a good spirit, and we've been laughed at, and we have laughed at ourselves hearing those jokes very happily, which is fine. I enjoy that comedy as well. But what I kind of started noticing, ki, yaar, why is there no women perspective? Why is there no mother's perspective? Why is there no housewives perspective? You know, there is so much going on. There is so much drama. What nonsense we go through every day of our lives. So many things. हम मतलब पिसी रहे होते हैं आधा टाइम तो अपने पेरेंट्स से भी मतलब at some point of time ना आप सबकी सुन ही रहे होते हो, चाहे पेरेंट्स की सुन रहे हो, चाहे सास ससुर की सुन रहे हो, चाहे बच्चों की भी सुन रहे हो, पति की भी सुन रहे हो, तो पिस तो आप ही रहे हो actually most of the time. So mixie is also in that context. We are getting grinded also, right? So that was my thing, and I was like, yaar, theek hai, chalo, I didn't want to, you know, it was not supposed to be offensive or anything, but it was more like, yeah, okay, housewife bolo ya homemaker bolo, we are still doing the same roles. What has changed? Has anything changed after being called a homemaker? Are we like getting more attention, getting more liberated or whatever? No, we are still doing the same, and everybody is a homemaker, whether she's a working woman. I would say, why are these terms divided, you know, working women? I think all women are working women. Some of us get paid, some of us don't get paid, but we are all working women, right? And same is with a homemaker. All of us are homemakers. Even a working woman is going and coming back home and, you know, doing her laundry and looking after her kids or making khana. So all women are also homemakers, right? So what is this concept? So I was like, what has changed? Just एक नाम बदलने से क्या ही बदल गया ना? हमारा role तो अभी भी वही चल रहा है. पिसी रहे हैं like a mixie.
Actually, your audience looks more like the mothers or the wives. Do you sometimes also distort, or you would try to distort your talk to suit to maybe the needs of a younger audience?
So surprisingly, my audience has, you know, evolved. I mean, it's evolving in the sense that when you start writing comedy, see, you can't write for a niche audience. So if I just cater to women and wives, तो फिर तो मेरा कम ही हो जाएगा सब कुछ. So especially in stand-up shows, you know, सब लोग आते हैं, husbands, wives, दादा, दादी, नाना, नानी. Everybody comes to watch comedy. So everybody comes with a full family. Speaking of which, yes, of course, I'm talking about my experiences, so it's more relatable to my age group. It's more relatable to moms and housewives and, you know, married couples. It's more relatable to them. But at the same time, it's very interesting how comedy is evolving, and you never know what hits when. You know, in fact, the show in which I recorded my video, there were only two married couples. It was a show of an artist called Devesh Dikshit, who has a very young audience. It's like 20s, 30s wala audience था सारा. उसमें सिर्फ दो मैरिड कपल थे, बट पीपल लव्ड माई शो. एंड उसके बाद आके मुझे यंगस्टर्स, समटाइम्स आई हैव टीनेज मदर्स कमिंग विद टीनेज चिल्ड्रन, एंड यू नो पीपल केम अप टू मी एंड दे लाइक, यू नो आंटी आपने तो ऐसे बोलते हैं, हमारी मम्मी भी ऐसी बोलती है, आपने हमारी मम्मी की याद दिला दी. So that's the amazing part of comedy, you know, that you connect to different levels. I related to a dadi also who said, हाँ बेटा हमारे ज़माने में से ऐसा ही चल रहा है. अच्छा तुमने पतियों का बैंड बजाया, कुछ नहीं बदला. तो so you know, तो हमारा भी वैसे ही चल रहा था. तो मेरी एज ग्रुप में तो हम सारे हैं ही चिड़चिड़ पेट क्रिप करते रहते हैं अपनी सहेलियों के साथ. और आगे youngsters are also relating because, you know, Gen Z, oh my God, not easy to follow them. So वो Gen Z वाले राइट वो जेनजी वाले बच्चे आ जाते हैं, सारे आधे टेक्स्ट कर रहे हैं जो हमें समझ नहीं आ रहे. वो वैसे वाले आई टॉक अबाउट ऑल दैट आल्सो. तो वो बच्चे आते हैं कि मैम वी आल्सो टॉक लाइक दिस, मदर्स कांट अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट यू आर सेइंग. सो इट्स अमेजिंग हाउ यू कैन कनेक्ट टू three generations of audience, you know. So it's amazing, and I'm not catering to an audience. I'm not tweaking my script. But yes, I do keep in mind that I can't just stick to one level of audience. कोई भी आएगा show देखने, and everybody should go back happy.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's a good thought. Since morning we've been talking about or listening to self-affirmations. And you also believe in self-affirmations. But as a comic, are your self-affirmations something like, my joke should make my microwave laugh, or something else?
No, even my affirmation है लोग तालियां बजा के जाएं. Sold out show हो जाए.
So you want more laughs?
Of course, any day. I'm also, I don't mess with affirmations, but if you're talking about funny affirmations, yeah, I can have one incident to that. It's not really an affirmation, it's not something that I wrote down. But you know, at the end of the day, I come from a middle class, humble background. So, you know, हमारी मम्मियाँ वो सारी जो पैसे सेव कर करके उसके साथ क्या फ्री मिल रहा है जल्दी से ले लो, कहाँ पे जो भी है, you know, we are that cautious वाली जो parenting थी हमारी, तो है तो हम चिंदी कहीं ना कहीं. Still are, okay? And it's very funny. I never imagined that my video would blow up so much. And, you know, when I would watch these Instagram, and I had just about 1,000, 1,300, 1,200 followers when my video went viral, and suddenly in 18 days it went to like 100K. But anyways, I never imagined ऐसा कुछ होगा. तो जब मैं ये 1,000-1,200 वाले follower में थी ना, तो I used to tell one of my best friends, because I'm very fond of sarees, and I used to watch these reels जिसमें लोग साड़ी वाले collaboration कर रहे हैं. I used to tell them, यार बस इतना हो जाए कि मेरे को ना free में साड़ी मिल जाए. So that chindi, you know, and let me tell you ladies, this saree is sponsored. I managed that. So I got there was a brand called Mahas. Now that I'm on the mic, I'll say it's Maheshmati sarees. They said, ma'am, आप इंदौर आ रहे हो, आप please हमारी साड़ी डालो show में कि हमारी advertising हो जाएगी. So my one affirmation came true.
Excellent, excellent. You also dabble into watercolor painting.
हाँ जी.
So does it happen sometimes कि instead of watercolor brush आपने कभी punchline brushes का use कर लिया?
So creative art forms सारे देखो ऐसे ही होते हैं. They're all fluid, you know. You can't separate a creative mind into this thing. I think all creative people have 2 or 3 things जिसमें उनका ध्यान होता है. एक में वो focus करते हैं और बाकी भी उनके creative pursuits होते हैं. And it's interesting because कभी कोई writer's block हुआ, कोई artist block हुआ, you know. So then you deviate, you take a break, you go to your other art form, and it gives you a refreshing insight. कुछ और thoughts आते हैं. So it's very interesting. And yeah, when I was, you know, like this year I had decided to focus. Last year I was doing a lot of painting. But वो होता है, you can't separate the two. So last year I was working for some exhibitions, painting exhibitions, and 2-3 months were occupied in making paintings for the exhibitions. But while I was doing painting, I would listen to podcasts of comedians. So I would listen to interviews of famous comedians. I would listen to workshops of comedians. I would listen. So while I was painting, my dhyan was still there. So you can't actually separate the two.
Excellent. आपका एक Instagram post मैं देख रही थी. It was talking about whether you should be boarding flight on time or you should be buying a MAC lipstick. So please share more on that.
MAC lipstick. Anyway.
Should we take
all the time, MAC
an
lipstick.
audience poll on this? What is more important, ladies? Buying a MAC lipstick or boarding the flight on time?
And this is like, I reached the airport 2 hours पहले. सब कुछ आराम से हो गया है 2 घंटे. So busy shopping and all. मैक के स्टोर एक्चुअली एंड वाई मैक लिपस्टिक पर्टिकुलरली आई टेल यू, मैं बातें करने का शौक है. वो मैक की जो स्टोर की वो जहाँ जो लेडी है वो मेरी दोस्त बन गया, वो मेरी सहेली बन गई है. एवरी टाइम आई गो देयर वो मेरे को फ्री में फाउंडेशन भी दे देती है. छोटी छोटी डब्बियों में सैंपल्स दे देती है, मेरा उसी से काम चल जाता है. So I go there every time, but to spend that much time that I was like, hey, oh, time ho gaya, run. And I'm getting a call, ma'am, are you coming? Because you're the last person, then you're entering like a queen.
So you get a VVIP treatment
Oh,
then.
absolutely. So MAC lipsticks work.
Very good. Wonderful, wonderful. What about the ladies? Is it about MAC lipstick or boarding the flight on time?
Everyone wants to play it safe.
Everybody wants to play it safe, and when you do not play safe, you play Harpriya. And that's why she's here, isn't it? So our answers need to be tweaked. No, wonderful, wonderful. In fact, you are a model or you were a model. A little thought on that also?
I've done a little bit of modeling. That also, I just started it like a couple of years back. I have a photographer friend who pushed me. He said, I'll do something. I said, ये बाल नहीं अब मैं काले करूँगी. He said, यही तो in है. The salt and pepper look is in. Go do this and all.
True,
so then
true.
I just did a few projects on and off. I'm not very actively into it, but कुछ आ जाए अच्छा तो कर लेते हैं.
And what about your fellow comedians? If you have to roast someone, who would it be?
To roast a comedian? I dare not.
No, drop a name.
I'm too new in the industry to take pangas. Abhi they all are very sweet and they're helping me. मुझे अपना career शुरू करने से पहले खत्म नहीं करना है.
Because she's a stand-up comic, so do all of us want her to stand up? Give it up for Harpriya.
Should I stand up?
Yes.
And do what?
Yes. And do what you're best at.
Okay. What should I do? 2-3 मिनट के कोई जोक मैं बताती हूँ. किस पे जोक सुनना चाहेंगे? पति पे? बच्चों पे? सास पे? सास वाले खत्म हो गए, वो उस पे ही थे. उसके बाद मेरी सास ने कुछ ऐसा करा नहीं कि मैं जोक बना दूँ. Okay, so married people in the house, give me a cheer. Okay, all of you. So let me begin by saying, unmarried people? थोड़े बहुत हैं. Anybody in love? थोड़े बहुत, ज्यादा नहीं है, बाकी तो सारे शादीशुदा हैं, उनसे कोई उम्मीद भी नहीं है मुझे। That's fine. वैसे ये सवाल मैं बहुत सालों से पूछ रही हूँ, आज तो थोड़े 2-4 लोगों ने हाथ खड़ा कर दिया, मजाल है कोई हाथ खड़ा कर दे, तो दुनिया में प्यार है नहीं इतना, तो इंस्टाग्राम पता नहीं क्या दिखा रहा है लोगों को, पट्टी पढ़ा रहा है, ये नायाब है इन लव, शी इज कम विद अ बॉयफ्रेंड। Are you still? Oh really? And I said it on the mic. Oh sorry, that's a manager. I know that. मैनेजर का बॉयफ्रेंड में बदल जाए कुछ नहीं पता। कुछ नहीं पता, exactly. So yeah, love is such an overrated emotion, but I think so. Love is an overrated emotion, नहीं? मतलब इतने सारे तो देखो साइड इफेक्ट्स हैं इसके, लोनलीनेस, डिप्रेशन, सुसाइड, ऑनर किलिंग्स, बहुत, राइट है ना? सो आई ऑल्सो थिंक मतलब देखो मेरी तो अरेंज मैरिज हुई है, अरेंज मैरिज वाले गिव मी अ चीयर, बहुत सारे हैं, तो मेरी तो अरेंज मैरिज हुई, अरेंज मैरिज वाले को तो लव से वैसे को लेना देना नहीं है। It's like asymptomatic कोरोना वायरस, ये कब आया, गया, हुआ, नहीं हुआ, बच्चे तो हो गए, लव तो हो ही गया होगा, अब इससे तो नहीं होना, किसी और से चाहे हो जाए, है ना? तो हमारी सारी जिंदगी ये गाना गाते गाते निकल जाती है, क्या यही प्यार है? हम हस्बैंड के लिए खाना बनाते हैं, हाँ, हस्बैंड ऐसे डकार मारते, हम कहते हैं हाय लहसुन की चटनी मेरी आज इसे बड़ी पसंद आई, क्या यही प्यार है? राइट। मगर लव मैरिज वाले, चलो लव मैरिज वाले आपकी कहानी अलग है, गिव मी अ चीयर। थोड़े बहुत, ज्यादा आवाज नहीं निकली इनकी, क्योंकि इनको मिलता है धोखा। देयर मैरिज इज लाइक अ चिप्स पैकेट, बाहर से सब तड़कता भड़कता, अंदर से निकलती है हवा। 2-3 दिन पहले किसी ने मेरे के शो में बोला गैस, मैं क्या लगता है ज्यादा ही प्यार, उनको बदहजमी हो गई, पुदीना हरा खिलाई जाए इनको, राइट? बट ठीक है, शादी लव और अरेंज अल्टीमेटली इट्स ऑल डीरेंज्ड। डीरेंज या क्या है, मतलब क्या है बचा ना शादी में, मतलब इट इज ऑल डीरेंज, अल्टीमेटली इट इज ऑल लाइक ड्राइविंग योर डैड्स ओल्ड फिएट, कब कहाँ रुक जाए कुछ नहीं पता, फिर किसी को तो निकल के धक्का मारना ही पड़ता है ना? यहाँ पे मैम हाउ मेनी इयर्स ऑफ योर मैरिज? ओहो, गिव इट अप फॉर योर लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन। मैम हाउ मेनी इयर्स ऑफ योर मैरिज? 43। क्या उम्दा खिलाड़ी बैठे हैं यहाँ पर, कमाल कर दी मैम। आप मैम हैप्पीली मैरिड, अनहैप्पीली मैरिड? हैप्पीली? यू हैप्पी विद योरसेल्फ? She didn't say happily married. You can't say that, you know, हो ही नहीं सकता। मैं पता नहीं क्यों मैम, एक्चुअली शादीशुदा ये यंगस्टर जाते हैं ना, ये तो 2-3 महीने वाली शादी वाले, hey how is the secret of your happy married life? I'm like, who said it was happy? मैं क्या इनका बबल बर्स्ट करना चाहिए मैम, इनको बड़ी उम्मीदें हैं शादी से। देखो ये होता है 40 साल बाद आप बोलते हैं आई एम हैप्पी विद माई सेल्फ, बाहर में जाए पति, वो घर में सेम रह रहा है, लेट हिम बी ग्रेटफुल, चाय बना के दे देती हूँ उसे मैं, है ना? ये होता है आफ्टर सो मेनी इयर्स ऑफ मैरिज। तो प्लीज किसी को पूछा मत करो, दूसरे मैरिड कपल्स को एडवाइस कोई पूछते क्यों तुम लोग? वो सुना नहीं है तुम लोग एयरलाइंस में, दूसरों की सहायता करने से पहले खुद की सहायता करें, है ना? फिर ये इंस्टाग्राम पे क्या होता है, ये शादी वादी क्या होता है, ये लड़ाई हो जाती है। मैम आपकी अब लड़ाइयाँ होती है कोई? अभी भी होती हैं? अभी ज्यादा होती है कि पहले ज्यादा होती थी? नॉर्मल है, पहले भी ऐसे था, बट ये यंग एनीबडी हु हैज बीन मैरिड अंडर अ ईयर, गिव मी अ चीयर। 1 ईयर से कम वाली शादी कोई नहीं है, सब बुजुर्ग बेटे वो रे। हाउ मेनी मंथ्स? लड़ाई होती है बेटा, होती है बहुत, इन्हीं की होती है लड़ाइयाँ। इनको समझ नहीं आ रही, शादी है, प्यार है, नफरत है, गलती से कर ली, क्या कर लिया हमने, कहाँ फंस गए हमने, हाँ? को फिर कौन आता है मनाने? दोनों। सो स्वीट, दोनों। मैम आपकी लड़ाई में कौन आता है मनाने? कोई नहीं, कोई नहीं, एग्जैक्टली। शादी के 20 साल बाद कोई नहीं आता। वी आर ऑल वेरी हैप्पी इन आवर डोमेस्टिक साइलेंस। हमें नहीं मनाना किसी को, क्योंकि शादी के 10, 15, 20 साल बाद ना तो आप रह जाते हैं पति पत्नी, ना आप रह जाते हैं अच्छे दोस्त, ना आप रह जाते हैं माँ बाप, आप रह जाते हैं पुराने पड़ोसी। जिनको एक दूसरे की हर आदत से चिढ़ है। लेकिन अब हम नए पड़ोसी नहीं चाहते, क्योंकि उनकी ट्रेनिंग कौन करेगा? एक की ट्रेनिंग इतनी मुश्किल से करिए, है ना? राइट मैम, है ना? और फिर वो मैंने एक गंदी सी पिक्चर में एक डायलॉग देखा था, क्या था, मेट्रो पिक्चर में, पिक्चर इतनी बुरी नहीं थी, डायलॉग बड़ा फनी था, जब हमारे दिन में कभी लड़ाई भी हो जाए तो रात को चादर के नीचे जब पैर मिलते हैं तो दिल भी मिल जाते हैं। आई एम लाइक रियली? शादी के 20 साल बाद एक तो चादरें अलग अलग हो जाती हैं और पैर इतने खुरदरे हो जाते हैं कि मिलाने का मन नहीं करता। थैंक यू।
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Yay. So that was a laugh riot. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Over to
thank
you,
you.
Nikita.
The hilarious evening, the Punjabi Tarka has just added its flavor. As we end this session today with smiles on our faces and laughter in our hearts, let's remember that in a world that can often be too serious, it's the ability to laugh together that truly connects us. Thank you, ma'am. An event is not complete without a shout out for our sponsors. We are thankful to Rich Chocolatier for making our day so chocolatey, and Bliss Holidays who have added zest to our conclave. Thank you Web Dunia, our digital content partner, for being our guide in the digital universe. Thank you.